Hello there guys and welcome to another Redstone video here today, and I'm here with the lovely OceanPhoenix and her
Hello.
wonderful redstone powers. Yeah, anyway, so we've kind of been working together on this brewing system here. It's an all-inclusive system. You can brew whatever you want to brew with it and brew it in bulk. If you're ready to switch items, then you can just turn it off and switch your ingredients and start brewing another set to your heart's desire. So let's take a look at this thing. As you can see in the front here, this is where actually there's supposed to be an item frame here for water bottles, but our water bottles will go in here and our blaze powder will be in here. Now it's very important when you're setting this up that, as you can see, blaze powder is in the hopper too. That way we can create a continuous chain of blaze powder to the brewing stand here, as you can see. Another thing to notice is that there is nether wart inside of the brewing stand and nothing else. Now this is how you would want to leave the system, with a nether wart in there ready for the next batch to be brewed. And then these chests, of course, are where our potions will be left. Now if we go and look around on the sides, we have our um, modifiers here on this side. And it's important our modifiers be over here and pretty much in this order. There's a few things you can change, like the redstone, glowstone, and gunpowder can be in any order, but you want your dragon's breath and your nether wart to always be last. Nether wart should always be the very last. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of that, you can do that. And then our other ingredients are over here, and they can be in whatever order we want. So why don't we say, Phoenix, that we brew some underwater breathing potions,
Yep,
and let's make them. Let's extend them. Now that makes them.
that's
Yeah,
strengthened.
let's
Yeah.
extend them with the redstone there. And if we turn our system on here, you'll see that we now should get bottles into the brewing stand. They will brew. And we did get one bottle in between the on and off, but it's simple enough to move that out and put it back up here. Alright, and now that it's done, you'll see that another wart falls back in, the bottles leave of potions, and new ones come in, and a new cycle begins. Alright, now, let's talk about one more thing that we have here on the back, and this is just for weakness potions, because they are a little different. So you have a setup here that will just do weakness potions. This is optional, but basically you hit the button, your potions fall out, and then you get new bottles and fermented spider eye, and then up here in the hopper should be your gunpowder, and these will brew every time you hit a button. Fairly simple there. All right, so
Mhm.
let's look at this thing without the shell on it, and it looks like this. Looks pretty complicated, but not too bad. Basically, we have our levers here, which are selecting our ingredients with pistons. And then we have this line of redstone here and our torches here that will activate. They will all activate at the same time, and only the items that are selected with the pistons will actually be fired into the system. And all of our ingredients are here in these droppers here, and ran into a circular motion. Our modifiers being on this end, going all the way around to the end, just like so. Same thing on this side, and then we have actually a little small circuit. It's actually a pretty small circuit down here on the bottom running the thing. This is our pulse extender, which operates our locking for the hoppers, so that the potions and the water bottles all fall out and get replaced. And then this line here is our off switch, and it's an AND gate, so that when we turn it off, that no more water bottles come in, the potions can leave, and then the ingredients are no longer fired in either, and won't stop in the middle of a cycle. So, alright, let's go up here and build the thing. Oh, before we do that, it's also probably should mention this. Now, if you could fire one of those trap chests there, Ocean.
Which ones are the?
Uh,
that one. Yeah.
Yeah. As you can see, as she opens the trap chest, these will open up. So if you don't want that to happen, and as long as you're not doing this during a brewing cycle, um, then it won't actually affect the system. But if you want to fail safe on this and get rid of the trap chest, you could go with shulker boxes or droppers here. And you could actually save on resources a little bit and get rid of all of this if you wanted. Make it cheaper on you. And just actually use these droppers here that are preventing lag on these hoppers as your storage. And then you have 2 droppers worth of storage plus a hopper for your bulk items. And if you're going to do that, you could probably rework this system here if you can think of a way. I'm not going to go over that in the video. Let's
I
go up.
should point out
Yes.
that the problem with the trap chests is only if you open them when a new cycle is starting, not during any point in the cycle. Most of the time, it's fine.
All right. Yeah, that's very true. And also, we've got these stairs here because if you have a solid block below the trap chest, sometimes the piston will get locked in a butted state. Because it won't catch an update because it's all sometimes it's based on lag and tick speed, I believe. So, but let's run up here to this platform and we can talk about how to build this. And all right, guys, up here on this platform, we need actually a 13 by 13 space. And if we'll find the middle here in the very front, we'll go up by 5 blocks. It's 3, 4, 5. On top of there, we can put a chest. If I can find it. There's 1, there's 2, and there we go. And then we need hoppers and a brewing stand. Hopper here. Brewing stand like that. So you should have something that looks like this to start out with. And then you need to place your hoppers into your brewing stand like that. And then you'll place 1 more hopper going into the side, 1 more like that with 2 chests, just like this. Next thing you'll want to do is take your block of choice, and you're going to place 1 block there. And you need then a comparator coming out of this block here, reading this hopper. And this is an idea that comes from Etho when he made his brewing system. Is if you put 22 items in here, you should then get a signal strength of 1 all the time. And that means that only 1 item at a time can actually fit into this hopper. And let's put the redstone down and we'll show you that.
It needs to be items that stack to 64 in the hopper.
Yep, items that
And
stack
that
to
don't,
64
yeah.
and don't go into the brewing stand. As you can see, I dropped the nether wart in there and it fell right in. But what would happen is if we added another ingredient on top of that, then we get the signal strength of 2 here. Now, this is an idea that was originally showed by Etho. And if we go ahead and put our nether wart in at the beginning, we'll be ready to brew as soon as we're done. Another thing that we need to do then is to go ahead and take another block off this side, and then actually it's a block, yeah, right there, and then a comparator coming from there, and 2 more blocks off just like this. So we're going to actually take the same signal from both sides, and we're going to use them for different reasons. All right, from here, what we need to do on the first one that we built is we need to take a sticky piston and face it downward with an observer block with the redstone output facing towards the brewing stand, just like that. And at that point, we can then, believe it was right here, wasn't it? We had a lever, and that is our off lever. All right, I'm going to take our block of choice again, and we want to place it right there and make a shape like this, and one more up like that. And we will place a repeater on 4 ticks just like that. That way when the observer block comes up, it will take a signal from there. We will then place a redstone dust right here. Alright guys, for the next step, you're actually going to come down one more block there, and just like this, and this, and then you're going to make that shape right there. And then you come out a couple blocks here, like that. And you're going to just go ahead and connect your redstone up, and we'll probably do some more here to this side in just a second, but we're going to go ahead and add a torch over here. And then from here, we're going to place a comparator going this way, and a comparator going that way. Now, this comparator here will have a block up, and then this block like that, level with the redstone that's already there. On top of the block that's up, we're going to place another torch with a block above it. Then we're going to have a block there and there. And then it's going to be another block like this and that. And there will be another block here. And so you'll have one repeater there, and then you'll have 2 dust and a repeater there. And this one will have a block above it. I mean, a torch above it with a block above that.
Well, and this
Now,
repeater needs to be on 2 ticks.
that's right. Alright guys, this is me quickly making a correction here, but where we just placed this comparator circuit here, we actually want to remove this block. We placed it temporarily and I forgot to remove it, so that this redstone should now connect like this, because we're getting a repeater signal from here, and we want it to actually get a fuller strength into this comparator. So quickly make that correction and we'll get back into the tutorial. Okay, from here, that is the majority of the redstone for the mechanism complete. We will revisit some of it in a minute, but we're going to go ahead and add more hoppers here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 pointing in that direction, with the one on the end facing into the original hopper that we had. You're going to place one more facing that direction, and then another one, and then we're going to come all the way down to the end. It should be 7 hoppers on one side and 8 on the other, with 1 connecting plus our original. Place a line of blocks like this on each side, so that we can temporarily place our droppers on them. On both sides, everywhere there's a blue block, we need a dropper. Alright, and then these can come out, and underneath there, we place our blocks underneath our droppers on both sides. These are the blocks that will be used to select. And you'll come out by 2 blocks now and place another line of blocks on both sides.
Yeah.
And then on those blocks that we place on both sides will be our pistons. And you actually need these blocks to put your levers on. And these will be our selections for our ingredients. Alright, if we come down underneath, we will actually be 2 blocks down from the dropper, like so. Place a block and do a whole line out the end of the droppers. And then from there, you're going to place another line diagonally and make that one too wide. And this line should be underneath the torch that we placed. And then on top of there, we will put repeaters, all on standard tick, and torches across the whole thing, as well as redstone dust here, which should be converted by that torch. Now here on this side, we need to actually break that block in redstone and place a torch there on that block right there. And for the most part, this is the system complete. And this is what runs your selections and runs your brewing cycles. Now, other than this, we need to take a comparator, observer block, and we actually need to face it downward like this on side of the observer that's there now. We need to take a powered rail or a activator rail or a redstone and put on that, so that when we turn on the lever, the item that we've placed here will activate this piston. And seeing that we are in the off state, we need to place our block down like that. Now, coming out of this redstone block, we need to place, and I just realized that we built up 6 blocks and not 5. That's why it's not reaching. But we need to come out 5 blocks from the redstone block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then up like that. So it will be a repeater here on 4 ticks, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 dust. And this block here at an angle will have a torch on it. And if we'll come here to this circuit, you're going to place 1, 2 blocks, and then this one can come back out and then come up by 1, 2 blocks, and then the middle one can then come back out again. Just like, no, that's not right, excuse me. This is what you want to do. So 1, 2 blocks, and then up at an angle, and then come down by 2. Move that block. You're going to put a torch here and a dust here, and then you're going to make this shape like this with a dust here and a dust here. What you're going to do is come down from this end, and you are going to place a piston coming directly off of this comparator line that we put in originally. And then you're going to, off of this block right here, you're going to need to place a observer there. Or excuse me, 1 block higher than that. Let's place this for temporarily. Place an observer there. You're going to place another block underneath it. And from there, you're going to place a sticky piston off of the block that you just placed with a redstone block, just like that. And this is your off state and gate here. And believe it or not, guys, if you don't want to add the extra storage that we talked about before, you can be all done aside from adding your hoppers on top of your droppers on top of your hoppers for lag prevention. And that one didn't be there. So I would suggest you adding these, if nothing else. But if you want to go ahead and add your other storage in, decide what you want to do now. If you just want to add the droppers for storage, then you can just add 1. But if you're going to go with chest, you're going to add 2 in, and then you're going to add trap chest and regular chest. And they'll be just like this. Yep. At this point, as a cover up, you're going to want to add a stair block. You can use any stair you want to here. And I'm using cobble stairs, and you're going to do this on both sides. You can make them up or down. Yep. You can use any block that's not going to transmit redstone there. And then again, also add droppers to this line of hoppers, preventing redstone lag. Alright, the last thing you need to do then is you're going to come here, and off of this block you're going to come out by 1. And then you're going to add, if you want the, this is where you're going to start adding the weakness potion brewer right here. Now, if you don't want this, then you can stop the tutorial here as well. And then underneath here, you're going to actually place a hopper, just like so. Out of the back of it, you're going to place a hopper, and then on the top, well, not there, on the top. On the top will be the last hopper. And then on both sides of this hopper, you're going to place a block. And then you're going to place droppers facing, oops, excuse me, 2 blocks. And then droppers facing into that hopper there. And as Ocean has done, you will add a double chest back here. And you will use a stair block, if I can manage it. Can't manage it with that. Stair block just like that so that you can reach in and reach it when you cover it up. And these actually can come back out because they don't need to be there. From here, you're going to add a button. It can be any button that you like. You're going to put a button here. And then underneath, you're going to add a sticky piston with a redstone block that will need to come down in this diagonal pattern with a repeater. And then another sticky piston down there. Oh, it's up one, isn't it? With a observer facing upward. And what that's going to do is when I press that, it's actually going to fire both sets of droppers, this one and then this one. And then from here, we're actually going to add in a repeater here that's going to be in the, is it on 4 ticks, Ocean? Supposed to be?
I don't think so.
We're going to add a block there on the piston with one coming up and over, just like so. Also with a heater and a dust across there. Now, this one, I believe, ran like this. And or maybe it was up.
Yeah.
Yep, it was like this. Okay, so you're going to run that out of the repeater. You're going to place 2 blocks level with the repeater and then do this loop-to-loop here.
It doesn't actually need to be on 4 ticks, I don't think.
Okay, it can be on standard tick, yeah.
The pulse from the button is long enough to empty all the bottles, so.
Alright, then if we add some bottles in there. Now we have bottles in here, and then we need fermented spotter eye in one. And gunpowder in the other. Do you have gunpowder on you?
I already put gunpowder in.
Okay. And if we hit the button, we should then get 2 bottles in, and then, oh yeah, we need blaze powder in there as well. Kind of doesn't work without that. You will need to manually put your blaze powder in this one. And then it should work. It'll brew these up, and then when you're ready for a new batch, you hit the button, the old ones fall out, and new ones begin to work. Now, also needs to mention that before you start doing any decorative work here, you need to add blaze powder to each of these hoppers here on the front side. And before you add your bottles in, and you're also going to want to add bottles into the hoppers too, so that you don't get a carryover. So in your hoppers, this should always be 4 bottles and 1 stack of blaze powder, and 4 bottles and 1 stack of blaze powder. And 4 bottles and 1 stack of blaze powder. Now this one didn't have any blaze powder in it. Of course it's locked, so nothing will come out right now. And yeah, so actually this needs to, I don't know why this is running like that, but once you get it set up, it should stay.
But if the system runs low on bottles, then the blaze powder will get messed up. So
yeah, so you got to keep bottles in the system consistently.
yeah.
But anyways, guys, this is the system complete. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, hit the like button and go subscribe to Ocean Phoenix. Yeah, yeah. Subscribe to my channel as well. But anyways, guys, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and she or I will get back to you as quickly as possible. So we'll see you later. Bye bye.
Bye.